Amerissis, Goddess of Light, an excerpt from the Masters in their retreats.
Amerissis, Goddess of Light, Profiles of the Ascended Masters. Amerissis is a powerful being who ensouls the quality of light, hence her name, Goddess of Light. The term God or Goddess denotes one who is a cosmic being and who ensouls the consciousness of God, of his or her office in the spiritual hierarchy and his or her ray. The Goddess of Light's devotion is to the light of God, even to the light of God within you. She stores the light for us in the heart of every atom, cell, and electron. She once explained, I am called by Goddess Grace the Goddess of Light simply because I have paid allegiance to the light for so long. She works with the Queen of Light and the Goddess of Purity. The Trinity of these goddesses will pour their light through you when you pray to them and give their decrees and fiats. Even the simple mantra, let there be light, will suffice. Amerissis uses the Queen of Light's focus above Messina on the island of Sicily, the Goddess of Purity's focus in Madagascar, and her own focus in the Shrine of Glory in the Andes in South America, as anchoring points for the threefold distribution of light throughout the world, especially Europe, Asia, and Africa. Prior to her ascension, when she was embodied in South America, the Goddess of Light had achieved such great attainment that she was able to maintain life in one body for more than 500 years. In an off-guard moment, her force field was violated by a group of black magicians who lay in wait, waiting to compromise her. They superimposed upon the lower half of her body the tail of a fish, thus imprisoning her as a mermaid. Because of her great attainment, it was not possible for her to lay down that physical body and be reborn. The law required that she ascend from that form in which she had attained her mastery. She was therefore required to sustain life in that form for over 800 years before the ascension was given to her. For 300 years she served her fellow man from behind a counter and wore full-length skirts so that no one would be aware of what had taken place. She has said that from that moment on she gazed ever upward toward the light and never placed her attention upon the negative matrix, her mermaid form again. When her moment of light was great enough, the Brotherhood sent an ascended emissary who was the key to her freedom. Together they drew forth the necessary balance and momentum of the sacred fire to shatter the matrix she had been born for 3 centuries. Shortly thereafter she made her ascension. In 1966, the Goddess of Light explained why she had been vulnerable to the black magicians intending to bring about her destruction. She said, in an unguarded moment, I was congratulating myself on all of my attainments when he struck with a string and bit of an adder, and I found myself bound and scarred, able to recover the use of my upper parts. But the spiritual teacher who watched over me was able to save me from that destruction. I called and I called and I called through the years unto God to free me from this bondage, and my calls were always made to light. O light, set me free. O light, set me free. O God's light, set me free. O God's light, set me free. As I waited upon mankind, as I served people and humanity, the constant prayer of my lips was to light, 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 expand, light, expand, light, expand, light, expand, expand, expand. And this God command reached such a crescendo of momentum that at last, as a bolt of lightning through the blue, came the edict of the karmic board, and there was a great quaking and trembling within myself, and suddenly the scales of bondage parted, and I gazed down upon
the new flesh.
And the perfect body that I once knew, restored by light to the realm of divine purity, and the place where I could once again take up my studies in divine grace, right where I had left off, but in a most humble manner, and determined as I was to never again submit to any form of bondage. And so I kept my application to light until eventually I was called before the great karmic board and told that I was indeed, because of my light I had externalized, worthy to be called, worthy of the appellation of Goddess of Light. In sudden and almost blind wonder, I stepped forward to accept, not for myself or for the sake of a title, noble though it was, indeed, and noble though it is, but in order that I might convey to mankind, down through the centuries, my own gift of light, and thus assist not only mankind, but even the angelic host, to externalize greater light through the roaring centuries, and into the external boundlessness of God's own limitless light. Amerissis says, I give you my light and my causal body, and my legions are ready to serve. Remember my name, Amerissis, Goddess of Light, and remember to call to me and to give forth the fiat of light. Light, then, is the alchemical key to healing of the nations, and also it is the key to your continued objectivity as you learn the meaning of the cross of white flame. I am the mother of light, and I am with you. I have stood where you stand. I have seen the Lord Sanat Kumara consume the darkness. I have seen the victory upon victory. We too are longing for the termination of the age of darkness. It has been too long, but its cycles are determined, my beloved, by those in embodiment. Free will weighs remarkably in the outer universe. In her dictation, the Goddess of Light has repeatedly cautioned us to be constantly on guard against those who would use our weakness to set us back on the spiritual path. She has revealed that she worked closely with Jesus. She and Jesus often send light to the dying and help them deal with the fear of death. When someone is passing on, you can call to her. I will use you as a focal point in the world of form, she said, to expand the light unto them, which is the light of hope, the light of faith, and the light of charity, unto all who are making the transition to higher octaves. The Goddess of Light has given us a meditation for increasing the light within us, she said. It is well to develop a meditation on light whereby you see pinpoints of light throughout the body. Visualize yourself as a giant Christmas tree with a candle on each little twig and branch so that the million candles might burn on your tree of life to light the way for millions. Remember that at every point of every cell of your body there is a nucleus in the atom, and there is a central sun in every cell. These are points of light. These are, as it were, manifestations of the great central sun at microscopic levels. Vibrant health within the body helps to keep the light circulating. Thus one may enjoy the vibrant mind that is quick and alert, and the desire body that is truly aligned with the law of God in the joy of the Lord. Amerissis has also given practical teaching on overcoming character weaknesses. She explained that each of us has three major recurring tests in our life. She said most people on earth, as we have calculated in surveys our angels have taken, have three knots in consciousness that hold them back, pull them up. These knots are so obvious right beneath their noses that they fail to see them year after year. Some pass from the scene of life in the change called death, never having realized that they missed the most obvious of matters that they came into embodiment to correct. Self-analysis is wise when it is not overdone. Therefore seek those professionals who can assist you. Seek also counsel from your dearest friends, loved ones, family members, for they may also tell you what they may have observed. Think then of these three strongest points in your life stream, where you show the greatest strengths of character: the honor, the nobility, the constancy, the stick-to-itiveness. Note this because most people do have 3 points where they excel, and excel consistently. You should also have 3 points of acceleration and attainment that you are working on, and 3 points to eliminate, elements of character that you desire to put into the flame. If there are those with you, you will make constant progress. You will self-transcend yourselves many times over, and in the end, when you arrive at the gate, you will find that you have passed so many tests that you have balanced karma, and you are ready to be candidates for the ascension in one of the ascended master's retreats.